I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to be able to speak to you today. Maybe we can kick off with an intro to Extraordinary. I guess some people might have already watched the first season and be waiting for the second, but some people might be coming to it fresh. So set us off a bit. What can we expect from the show?
Yeah, I guess Extraordinary is a coming of age story about four 20-somethings trying to figure out how to live their lives in East London. The catch is that it's a world in which everyone has superpowers, but it's not really a superpower show. It's like a total twist on the superpower genre. And it's like an adult comedy that features Cash, Carrie, Jen, and a character called Jizzlord. And I guess season one was setting up this crazy world of like colorful London and the struggles that each individual has to go through. And season two feels a bit like a fresh start. Everyone's trying to become an adult. Jizzlord and Jen are trying to be an adult couple. Carrie and Cash are trying to be platonic friends after a breakup, but they're still living together. And so it feels slightly more mature potentially and more character driven, I guess, as opposed to world driven season one. And yeah, would you?
I would say that's perfect summary.
That was pretty expert. When it was reading that.
Yeah.
You've done this before. And, casting your mind back when you first read the script, I mean, it just does feel so fresh, and the fact that it's taking kind of this twist on sort of the superhero genre, but even in sort of the style of comedy and the tone, it's a bit sort of like Bridget Jones, Fleabaggy, but, a bit of Sharon Horgan's style of comedy in there, and it's not afraid to kind of be completely irreverent, and sort of taboo busting. What did you love about the script, and why did you want to jump on board?
I think for me, as soon as I read it, I just felt like I had never read anything like that before. And it felt, yeah, as you say, so fresh. And Emma's voice felt so unique and so different to anything that I'd read or seen. And I remember even from reading like the first couple of pages, I was laughing out loud, which I think happens for me quite rarely, especially reading scripts. And I remember being really excited to tell some of my friends about what was going on in the script. And I thought, oh my God, she's writing how like my friends speak to each other. It just felt really relatable. And then I was also surprised because it was so funny that those emotional bits felt so real and so deep. I kind of was expecting, because it was so funny, maybe it would be sort of just on that tone throughout. And then I was surprised that the emotional bits felt so real. And then also, I would say, it feels like every single character in the show has such an incredible arc from, the lead characters to even say smaller roles. They have really great arcs and really interesting journeys. And that was something that I felt was also quite rare. So yeah, for me, that was what made me really want to be part of it, all of those things.
And coming to both of your characters, Carrie and Cash, and of course, we see them in a completely different setup as we do going into the second season. But, what do you love most about your characters? How perhaps can you relate to them? How are they very different? I mean, you both have some really hilarious moments and hilarious lines, and particularly the interactions between the two of you. So it looks like it was a lot of fun to play them.
Yeah, I think the thing that's amazing about Emma's writing is that it is so irreverent. And it's very like the comedy is, it's an adult comedy in that way, but actually all the characters at their core are extremely lovable. And I think that has to do with their powers as well. Like Carrie is always channeling other people and so therefore can't really ever be herself or know who she is. And that's like a big arc for her in season two. Cash is always trying to turn back time and perfect things, but seems to always like make them worse by doing so. It feels like the powers actually reflect their flaws in a way that makes you love them more, despite the fact that the humor is extremely like, uncompromising and irreverent. So, and I think for Cash, it's this idea of like, he is a very selfish person in many ways, but he would never, he's not actually selfish, which feels a weird thing to say, but like he's a narcissist in a way, but actually he cares so much about other people, he doesn't realize he's hurting them. Like, he just wants the best for everyone.
Yeah, that's so true. I really agree with that. I feel like I could really relate to not feeling confident and expressing what I was feeling what was going on, because I was worried about how it might be perceived and it may be upsetting someone. And I think Carrie obviously really struggles with that and finds that that's like a big personality trait that she has to kind of work through. And so that was something that I could really relate to. And then also realizing that actually all that does is cause more harm along the way because you're not being truthfully honest, and more problems for yourself. So in some ways, I'm like, some of the stuff that I've learned from playing Carrie has really helped me in my personal life, because you kind of get to like try things out before you then put them into your actual life, which is great. And in terms of like playing her, I would say I really enjoyed all of the channeling stuff. I enjoyed all of it, but I find the channeling stuff a really amazing challenge because you're playing people that are so different to you physically, and that's so awesome because you're probably never going to get the opportunity to play those in other things.
I was going to ask you about that next, actually. I mean, there are so many funny moments, but like particularly, when you're channeling people and then coming into the second season, that whole episode with the exorcism, obviously no spoilers or anything, but like, it's just so brilliant. Was that one of your favorite bits? Did you have another favorite bit?
Do you know what? I was thinking about this today, was in the first series, when I was channeling Charles II, and I remember staring into a mirror, flirting with myself, doing two voices, and I thought, truly, this might be one of the oddest things I ever do in my life. Like trying to seduce
and
yourself.
Then you played Darling in season 2.
I was like, I was like, what? I would say yes, that was really fun because physically it was so fun to be like, because Carrie is not incredibly like sexually expressive, so it was really cool to be able to like explore that. And then I also really enjoyed playing channeling Jen's dad because that just feels like such like an emotional weight behind it. But then you're also like, if you have an out of body experience, you're like, this is so odd. I'm channeling her dad. What would I do? It's just so, it seems so like an amazing opportunity to try something so different.
What do you hope people could take away? I mean, as we said, it is laugh out loud funny. So first and foremost, it is just so entertaining, but it does prod at all these sort of very relevant issues about being in your 20s, about feeling like, where do I belong? What's my identity? But perhaps it's hard. It's sort of, we'll embrace all of that. Maybe it doesn't matter that much. It's okay to just be where you are. What do you think the takeaways might be?
I hope people watch it. People who are in their 20s watch it with other people who are in their 20s, and they can see themselves in the characters and like laugh at them and laugh with them. Like, I feel like that's what you can hope from a comedy, like that people, can feel seen in a way that feels light and, not confrontational and, in a hopeful way.
Yeah, I really agree with that. I think what both of you said, to be honest. And then also I would say, I hope that, people realize that actually it's just part of the process. Like you're meant to experience and feel these things, and like things will be all right. Kind of just trust that what's happening is meant to be, and everyone's going through it, and hopefully it will start conversations amongst people to be like, oh, are you feeling like that? Because I'm feeling like this, rather than thinking, oh my God, I'm kind of just struggling with this by myself.
Thank you so much for sharing all that with me. And I can't wait for everyone to get stuck into the second season of Extraordinary. Thanks so much.
Sarah, lovely to meet you.
So nice to meet you.